Vera Vance didn't set out to be a celebrity. She simply loved clouds. As a girl, she sketched cumulus columns in the margins of her math homework and memorized Latin names for every variety of droplet and vapor. By 34, she had become Western Illinois' most trusted meteorologist, a compact woman with luminous hazel eyes and a voice as calm as barometric glass. People said they could smell petrichor when she spoke. The station where Vera worked, Channel 8, had a dwindling viewership in the cord-cutting era, so her news director encouraged talent to embrace social media. Vera leapt. She posted interactive radar clips, time-lapse storm builds, and minute-long Vance forecasts on every platform that would host video. By the end of her second year, she had close to 2 million combined followers. Farmers, suburban parents, outdoorsy college kids, people who trusted her the way previous generations had trusted silent church thermometers on Sunday morning. The trust went beyond clicks. When Vera warned of a derecho, elementary schools rearranged field days. When she hinted at a blizzard, plow contractors slept with boots on. Supermarkets appreciated the bump in bread and milk sales, but never panicked. Vera's calm tone prevented hysteria. At least that was true until the last week of August. It began with an ordinary thunderstorm advisory. Dusk had smeared the sky purple, but the radar showed only moderate convection sweeping in from the plains. Vera recorded her usual clip in the station's green screen room, 3 minutes about gust fronts, hail cores, and safe driving tips, edited the file herself, and uploaded it at 7:42 p.m. She went home to eat leftover cassoulet and watch lightning flicker beyond her porch screens. At 8:05, her phone buzzed, then again, and again. Within 20 minutes, the number of notifications grew frantic. Friends texting question marks, colleagues sending links, strangers tagging her handle. A video surfaced, dozens of shoppers in the Rockview Supermart, screaming and ramming carts like battering rams down the cereal aisle. Bags of rice burst and flowed like beige snow. A man in an orange hunting cap elbowed a grandmother over bottled water. The caption read, "Vance followers gone wild, thunder riot in Rockview." Vera watched, horrified, as store security attempted a cordon while customers chanted, "Get it all, get it now." At first, she assumed coincidence. Humans sometimes stampede without reason, but the pattern hardened quickly. 2 days later, she warned of a marginal risk for a brief tornado spin-up. An hour after the clip went live, surveillance footage showed near-identical chaos inside a chain grocery in Peoria. People threw eggs like grenades and wrestled over flashlight batteries. The next morning, a gas station 40 miles south reported a brawl over diesel jugs. Journalists started using the phrase, "storm shop riots," and one cable host dubbed Vera the weathermonger. The station brought her in for a closed-door meeting. "You're not telling people to riot, obviously," General Manager Kincaid said, fingers steepled. "But something in your delivery is sparking this. Tone it down, or we'll pull your online segments." Tone it down. Vera was already the human embodiment of chamomile. She re-watched her own videos until 3 a.m., hunting for inadvertent alarms, careless word choice, eyebrow arch, hand motion. The clips looked benign. Then she noticed the jump cuts. They were tiny, a single frame, less than a blink, but unmistakable arcs of pixel garbage, as though someone had jammed an extra sliver between contiguous frames. She advanced the timeline, frame by frame, and captured one of the slivers. It contained a flash of text, "Stock now, no audio, just a subliminal." Her throat tightened. She found another in a later video. "Defend yours." They were not in her original edit. Somebody had doctored the files after upload. Vera rang Tyler Rusk, a digital forensics professor she'd interviewed during flood season. Tyler arrived at the station that afternoon with a Warhol t-shirt and a backpack full of gadgets. In the control room, they downloaded the raw footage from her camera's SD card. Clean. They compared it to the file hosted on vanceforecasts.com, infected with subliminals. Tyler sniffed packet paths and uncovered that the uploaded videos had been intercepted in transit, modified, then relayed to hosting servers milliseconds later. The attack was elegant, almost artistic. "So whoever's doing this sits between your laptop and the platform's ingestion node," Tyler said. "Man in the middle, but vectoring the edits in real time." "Can we stop it?" Vera asked. "Maybe, but first we need to know what they're embedding." They wrote a script to extract the middle frames and isolate audio frequencies beyond normal hearing thresholds. Tyler played a widened spectrogram. Beneath Vera's gentle baritone lay a low, rhythmic chant. "Own it all. Provide or perish." Not loud enough for conscious hearing, but perfect for a subliminal nudge toward panic. By the following weekend, 6 supermarkets in 3 counties had been trashed. The governor's office called Channel 8 demanding restraint. Hashtags. Storm Loot Loop and Weather Witch trended. Anonymous death threats clogged Vera's inbox. "We lost a security guard because of you." "My kid got trampled, devil forecaster." She stopped sleeping. Every time thunder rumbled, she flinched, imagining mobs tearing shelf displays apart. Tyler's investigation yielded the attacker's handle. Harvest Dawn. The same tag appeared in code comments within the manipulated video headers. A quick search revealed scattered manifestos on privacy forums. Harvest Dawn claimed to be accelerating the inevitable reckoning between consumer comfort and environmental collapse. Their logic was twisted, a belief that people must face the fragility of supply chains through orchestrated shock. The storms supplied plausible fear. The riots proved how thin civilization's skin was. In a Zoom call, FBI Special Agent Maria Ong told Vera, "We've been tracking that collective for months. They're ghosts. Servers hop through bulletproof hosts in Moldova, Seychelles, Paraguay. They breached a food delivery app last year and inserted fake images of maggots on meals to spark a recall." Maria asked Vera to keep producing forecasts so the Bureau could trace injection points in real time. The request sickened her, but she agreed. If she stopped posting, Harvest Dawn might hijack someone else's feed. The next severe weather day arrived like a loaded pistol. A sprawling cold front promised flash floods and quarter-size hail. Vera stood before the chroma wall, nails pressing half-moons into her palm. She resolved to speak even softer, eliminating words like dangerous or serious. Still, when the clip reached the public, Harvest Dawn spliced in. "Fear the shortage. Claim what's yours." That night, 7 supermarkets in 4 towns became gladiator pits. The situation had gone feral. Grocery chains reduced hours. Some installed metal detectors at entrances. Local news vans camped outside Vera's townhouse. Channel 8 suspended her on-air shifts indefinitely. Yet if she didn't record videos, the FBI would lose their honeypot. After the 4th riot, the casualty count reached 2 dead. One elderly man suffered a heart attack during a crush. Another victim struck by a thrown propane cylinder. Vera vomited in her kitchen sink, then phoned Agent Ong. "I'm done being bait," she said. Ong's voice softened. "I understand, but I believe we're close to a breakthrough. They'll escalate until we catch them, with or without you. Then I want to stop them on my terms." An idea sprouted, fragile as a fresh ISO bar. Vera asked Tyler and Ong to meet her at the station that night. The plan hinged on meteorology, cryptography, and a touch of theater. First, Vera would produce a forecast for a widely advertised storm, an extratropical cyclone brewing along a notorious jet streak. She'd insert deliberate but harmless anomalies into the radar graphics. Echo returns, shaped like seeds of Fibonacci spirals, pixelated sunbursts within cloud tops, squiggly rain bands spelling nonsense if you squinted. To the average viewer, the images would seem like glitches. To hackers obsessed with hidden messages, the anomalies would look like an invitation. Second, Tyler coded a watermark nestled in those anomalies, a strand of data that, if tampered with, pinged a chain of trace packets back through the man in the middle. Think of it as a dye pack in a bank bag. Once Harvest Dawn opened the file to embed subliminals, the watermark would leak its location to a swarm of Bureau sensors. Finally, Vera would address her audience live for the first time since the riots, acknowledging the supermarket chaos and promising transparency. She would direct viewers to a mirrored stream only available through the station's hardened server rather than social platforms. If Harvest Dawn tried to hijack that feed too, they'd reveal another node. The stage was set for September 17th, the night the cyclone's outer bands would slash the county. The community was raw, bruised, hungry for guidance, yet wary of anything Vera said. She wore a muted gray blazer instead of her usual pastel. No accidental color psychology. Just before going live, she inhaled the scent of studio lights and felt a steadying nostalgia. Weather, pure and simple. She began. "Good evening, everyone. I'm Vera Vance. Before I discuss tonight's system, I need to address what's been happening in our supermarkets." She spoke for 2 minutes, voice trembling only once, explaining that malicious actors had manipulated her videos. She apologized to the families of the riot victims. Then she presented the forecast, graphics flickering with Tyler's hidden watermark. Rain intensity, wind directions, rainfall rates, everything necessary for safety, nothing overhyped. The broadcast ended at 9:02. Tyler's monitoring console glowed. "Watermark triggered," he whispered. Strings of IP addresses unfurled like constellation charts. The packets leapt from a compromised routing switch in Kansas City to a virtual server disguised as a Slovenian dental clinic to a cluster of anonymized nodes in Ontario. The Bureau's cyber team dove after every hop. 20 minutes later, Agent Ong received an encrypted update. Final routing endpoint traced to a decommissioned grain elevator outside Barlow, Iowa. One that still had a fiber backbone for the defunct Agritech sensors installed there years ago. Harvest Dawn had set up a covert relay inside the elevator's rusted core. Ong mobilized the local field office and notified county deputies. At the same time, Vera's mirror stream went live on the station website. Thousands tuned in, curious. This secondary feed intentionally carried no subliminals. So far, 10 minutes, 20 minutes passed. Then Tyler saw a hiccup. The audio wavelength shifted, meaning Harvest Dawn had penetrated the second channel. He isolated the new chant. "Protect by force. Stock the cellar." But along with the chant came the die-pack's second payload. GPS pings triangulating not just the relay tower but the actual laptop's injecting code. Ong's team traced them to a rented farmhouse 8 miles from the grain elevator. Deputies converged, guided by drone-mounted infrared. Vera waited in the dark studio, phone pressed to ear, listening to breathing and shuffling gun straps through Ong's line. Thunder cracked outside, raindrops ticked against the bays of satellite dishes. Finally, Ong murmured, "We have 3 suspects in custody, no shots fired, we're sweeping drives now." Relief washed over Vera in waves so heavy she had to grip the anchor desk. Over the next 48 hours, details emerged. The arrested hackers were young, 23-24, graduates of a private cybersecurity academy that had shut down during COVID. Their manifesto files contained elegant treatises on supply chain fragility, consumption addiction, prepping culture. They called the supermarket riots behavioral stress tests. They'd chosen Vera because her brand of calm credibility could funnel people directly into primal fear if nudged right. The subliminal phrases were refined through A/B testing on smaller channels before they targeted her. Evidence was robust. Source code fragments on seized drives matched the frames in Vera's videos. Payment logs showed crypto purchases of gear used in the grain elevator relay. One hacker had posted under the same alias that appeared in the header comments. Harvest Dawn, at least this chapter of it, was dismantled. The district attorney held a press conference. These individuals exploited public trust in a time of uncertainty. They weaponized technology against our own neighbors. He credited Vera for her courage. Still, the faces of riot victims haunted her. 2 funerals would proceed regardless of arrests. When Channel 8 offered her the slot back, she hesitated. What if someone else tried again? Then she recalled a conversation with her grandmother after a childhood tornado. The old woman had said, "Fear is weather, courage is climate. It's the thing you choose every day, whether or not the sky cooperates." Vera returned, but the way she interacted with the public changed. Before every upload, she displayed a digital signature badge built by Tyler. Viewers could verify cryptographic integrity with a browser plugin. She hosted weekly Q&A sessions on media literacy, explaining in plain language how subliminal messaging works. Supermarkets implemented crowd-calming protocols rather than security theater. One chain started offering free storm prep seminars, so customers felt prepared long before the clouds gathered. The first big snowfall of the season arrived in early December. Vera's forecast, complete with the authenticity badge, warned of 8 to 10 inches and wind chills dipping below zero. Stores reported brisk but orderly sales. People bought salt, gloves, chocolate, but no fistfights erupted. Instead of chanting, shoppers swapped casserole recipes in checkout lines. On the night flakes finally swirled through yellow streetlight cones, Vera sat by her apartment window, cocoa steaming in hands, watching the calm. A few miles away, ambulances would still sound, furnaces would groan, and the earth would spin through the wide gyre of winter storms. But trust, bruised though it was, had not collapsed. She thought of the weather vane on her childhood barn, how no gust could unsolder it from the roof. It merely spun, arrow pointing into uncertainty with steadfast honesty. Somewhere, other iterations of Harvest Dawn might be plotting new tests. But Vera had learned the pattern. Fear thrives in silence. So she would speak, clearly, verifiably, and with clouds sketched behind her voice like guardians. The sky might menace, but truth could still be forecast.